donate to Goodwill.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Tonight, the shocking news that Colts quarterback Andrew Luck is retiring before the season begins is still settling in for fans. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Nicole Griffin. Many fans we are hearing from are upset, but respecting Luck's decision, given the fact that he has dealt with injuries over the last few seasons. The news broke last night during the Colts' third preseason game against the Bears. Andrew Luck then addressed the media, confirming reports saying it all comes down to injuries, causing him to no longer enjoy the game of football like he once did. He says it is the best decision for himself and for the team to step away from the game of football. He says the decision is not an easy one. He loves his team and his teammates, but he knows he can't put his heart and soul into the position like the team deserves due to the injuries and the impact it's having on him personally. We talked to fans today who are still reacting to this news.
It was a hoax. I couldn't believe it. 29 years old, but listening to what he had to say, you can understand it. Physically, just like I said, wore down his mind mentally. Being injured, coming back, being injured, coming back, and the ankle injury that's been lagging for almost 2 years now. Just want to walk away when you can at the top of the game.
It's disappointing. I think we really liked and appreciate what Andrew Luck has done for the city and for Colts, for the Colts organization, but. At the same time, the whole timing of everything was a bit shocking, I think, to all of us.
Luck said after his injury in 2016 and playing in pain, he made a vow to himself that he would not go down that path again. He says if it happened again, he would essentially choose himself. And he says right now he is finding himself in a similar situation.
For the last 4 years or so, I've been in this cycle of injury, pain, rehab, injury, pain, rehab. And it's been unceasing and unrelenting, both in season, and off season. And I felt stuck in it, and the only way I see out is to no longer play football. It's taken my joy of this game away.
Luck says it has been the honor of a lifetime to represent the Horseshoe and the city of Indianapolis. He thanked the entire Colts organization, his teammates, and his family for the support during what he calls a very difficult time. The Colts organization, the NFL, and players are reacting to this news. The Colts official Twitter posting this photo saying, "Thank you, Andrew, a leader on the field, a pillar of the community." The NFL tweeted Luck's stats, including Luck made it to the Pro Bowl 4 times and was the 2018 Comeback Player of the Year. The tweet went on to say, "Congrats on an incredible career." And Colts tight end Eric Ebron tweeting, "Andrew Luck will be somebody I tell my kids about, the player and the person." J.J. Watt from the Houston Texans saying this, "An incredible competitor, a truly great person. I'll miss competing against a guy who always played the game extremely hard with an immense amount of respect." It's an unfortunate reality of life in America these days. Many of us are forced to ask ourselves not if an active shooter situation will happen, but instead when, and could it happen somewhere I spend time? City leaders set out to help answer some of those concerns during an active shooter training for the faith community. RTV6 reporter Graham Hunter is live outside the Indianapolis Hebrew congregation on Meridian with what was discussed tonight. Graham.
Nicole, this was an interfaith gathering representing congregations and faith leaders from across Indiana, creating a sense that we are more alike than we are different. These folks united in a passion for the safety of the members of their congregation. It's the type of meeting folks we talked to said they wish we did not have to have, but are glad we are given the reality of mass shootings around the country. IMPD, the Marion County Sheriff's Office, and the FBI each took part in the presentation. One of the primary messages this afternoon was of prevention. And that included 2 pieces of major takeaway information that are called pre-attack indicators. Nearly all attackers engaged in prior threatening or concerning communications and exhibited behavior that caused concern in others. That's the type of safety information faith leaders came for.
Some of us have said, well, we're an easy target if somebody wanted to come in and make a statement. So, what can we do to lessen the risk and protect ourselves and make our parishioners feel more secure.
Information was presented today that roughly 4% of active shooter situations target houses of worship. A presenter saying that has held steady through the years. So unfortunately, the reality is that faith leaders and parishioners need to be prepared. Working for you from the north side, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
Graham, thank you. New information in the deadly shooting of 2 people on the north side, one of them a 3-month-old child. Last night, Metro Police arrested 36-year-old Ivory Smith. Investigators say earlier in the day she shot 3 people at a home in the 2300 block of North Guilford. The victims included Smith's boyfriend, his mother, and his 3-month-old nephew. The adult male and the child died at the scene. The grandmother was taken to the hospital in stable condition. Happening tonight, a vigil for the teenage siblings shot and killed early Friday morning. 16-year-old Nicholas and 15-year-old Ashlyn Nelson died at their home in the Postbrook Apartments. Tonight's vigil is at 8:30 at the complex near 42nd and Post Road. And tonight, police continue to search for the person of interest in this case. We have these surveillance photos that police want you to see. They show a possible suspect seen running from the apartment complex around the time of the shootings. If you have any information tonight, call Crime Stoppers. That number 317-262-TIPS. Now we want to get a check of the forecast with Storm Team 6 meteorologist Kyle Mounts.
And Nicole, wrapping up another picture-perfect day here across central Indiana. That very low humidity and temperatures right around 80 degrees this afternoon. Made it to 81 in Indy, right now at 80 degrees. Still 81 in Bloomington and 77 in Crawfordsville and Greencastle. Now we're looking to the north, but you've noticed those clouds streaming in from the south throughout the day. But that's all we have so far. Storm Team 6 radar quiet in the Hoosier State. You notice there's some rain back in Illinois, but still running into that very dry air that we have. So if you're heading out this evening, don't think you're going to need that umbrella. Mostly cloudy skies and temperatures in the 70s.
Kyle, thank you. Metro Police are looking for a hit-and-run driver who struck a motorcyclist on the east side. Officers were called out to South Emerson and English Avenue just before 9 o'clock Saturday night. Witnesses told investigators the motorcyclist, a 30-year-old man, was going eastbound on English Avenue when he ran the red light and was hit. Investigators are working to determine if indeed he did run that red light. The motorcyclist was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police have not released any information on the suspect's vehicle. A week from today, the highly anticipated IndyGo Red Line goes into full operation. IndyGo is now conducting final practice runs along the entire 13-mile route. New road configurations and pavement markings have been in place since July 31st on College Avenue, Meridian Street, and Capitol Avenue. IndyGo officials say since the Red Line is a service that is brand new to riders and bus drivers, they do expect delays and occasional challenges for the first few weeks. They are asking everyone to please be patient. And by the way, the full month of September is free for all Red Line trips. Volunteers will be at those stations to help answer any questions. RTV6 is working for you and getting results. Drivers in Carmel reaching out to RTV6, thanking us for bringing their concerns to the city about visibility at roundabouts. It's a story we first told you about last month. There were concerns about the tall grass and plants at this roundabout at Kinzer Avenue and East City Center Drive. Drivers say the plants made it difficult to see to pull out. Well, we visited the area today and reached out to Carmel. After our story, the street department crews went out to inspect the area, and now the plants have been cut much lower. A city spokesman says it will help with the sight line for drivers, especially when it comes to seeing pedestrians. He's known mostly for his iconic role as Mr. Sulu on the classic TV series Star Trek. And while that show was filled with drama and adventure, actor George Takei's personal life has seen its share of challenges. Today, he visited the Children's Museum of Indianapolis and discussed his new book, They Called Us the Enemy. Takei shares the deeply personal and painful story of his family's times at an internment camp when he was a little boy during World War II. Thousands of Japanese families forced into the camp simply became the U.S. WAGs at war against Japan. Takei says he wanted to make the book relevant to children by writing it in a style that would capture their attention. So that's why he wrote it as a comic book.
So I thought that would be the way to reach young people today, because they're going to be the voters of tomorrow. the movers and shakers of tomorrow. They are going to be the Americans of tomorrow with a fuller knowledge of American history, including this dark chapter of our history.
While visiting the museum, Takei also took a tour of the new space object theater show called The Future Is Now, in which he did the voiceover narration. A former Trump supporter is now his opponent. Next at 6, the latest challenge from a man who now calls the president incompetent and erratic. Kyle.
We know the month of August can be quite hot, but the last few days of the month are coming in cool here. We'll talk about when rain is going to hold down those temperatures. You're watching RTV6 News at 6.
Now at Ashley Home Store, this is home.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
2 Republican officials are throwing their hat in the ring, looking to challenge President Trump for the Republican nomination in 2020. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott with all the details.
Already more than 20 Democrats are vying for President Trump's job. And now at least 2 Republicans are in the running too.
I'm going to run for president.
Former Illinois Representative Joe Walsh making the announcement Sunday morning on This Week, saying he will challenge the president for the Republican nomination next year.
I'm running because he's unfit. Somebody needs to step up, and there needs to be an alternative. The country is sick of this guy's tantrum. He's a child.
Elected to the House in the 2010 Tea Party wave, the former Trump supporter and conservative radio host today calling the president incompetent, erratic, and a narcissist. Walsh is not the only Republican looking to take on the president. Former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld announced his candidacy back in April. On Twitter last week, calling the president a clear and present danger to our country.
And my objective is to bring in more unaffiliated independent voters who can vote in those states, and even Democrats. I make the case to them that you Democrats, if you're not satisfied with Mr. Trump's performance in office, you can vote against him twice. Once for me in the primary and then for whoever you want in the general.
2 other Republicans also reportedly considering throwing their hats into the ring. Former South Carolina Governor and Congressman Mark Sanford and former Ohio Governor John Kasich. But Republican National Committee Chair Ronna McDaniel telling ABC News that Republicans are firmly behind the president, and any effort to challenge him in a primary is bound to go absolutely nowhere. And the Trump campaign issuing a one-word response: whatever. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
We love it when the weather and the weekend work out together, and that's exactly what we've had yesterday and today. And checking out that view, Monument Circle, beautiful there yet this evening, as we've got still quite a bit of sunshine. We do have some clouds that are starting to filter into the area with temperatures in the upper 70s to around 80 degrees. It's 81 right now in Bloomington. Our winds out of the east and southeast direction here, around 10 miles per hour. So that's going to keep our numbers a little bit warmer as we go through the overnight. Instead of the 50s, we'll be into the middle 60s first thing on your Monday morning, and that will eventually come with a chance for some scattered showers. Now, Storm Team 6 radar showing that all the wet weather right now is off to the south and also to the west. There are those clouds, though, that we've had continuing to kind of fill in as we've gone throughout the afternoon. And as we jump ahead with TrueCast to midnight tonight, that's when we start to see a few of those showers taking shape south of Interstate 70. So between now and then, I think we're going to be dry. Tomorrow morning, we'll have some scattered showers around. This is TrueCast at 7:30 in the morning. A rumble of thunder not out of the question here, but we're not anticipating severe weather as we go throughout the day on Monday. What you do notice, though, is that rain just continues to expand here. Fairly soggy for your lunch hour tomorrow. If you are going to be heading out for lunch, definitely going to need the rain gear at that point. We'll have a few thunderstorms and some pockets of heavier rainfall here by 4 o'clock in the evening, getting ready for that drive home. Still going to need those windshield wipers. We're still going to have some rain. And then I think once we get to about 7, 8 o'clock in the evening, that's where the rain will start to kind of wind down for us. But we're looking at those rainfall totals starting to add up here, even Kokomo, Indianapolis, Columbus, as we go through Monday and even into the day on Tuesday. You can see about an inch of rainfall as expected, and that's a pretty common theme here for much of central Indiana. Can't rule out, though, that we have some pockets of 1 to 2 inches of rain. Now, with the clouds and the rain that's going to be around the area tomorrow, we'll be a little bit cooler with those temperatures staying in in the 70s. We'll be about 10 degrees cooler than average for this time of year. Average high is 84, just 74 in Indy, 73 in Muncie, and 75 in Lafayette. 7-day planning forecast now as we put it all together, and that rain chance carries into Tuesday. I think it's going to be a lot more scattered, many more dry hours for us there. As a result, we'll warm to 80 degrees and then drying it out for the rest of the week with highs around 80. Another small chance for some showers and storms as we look ahead to next weekend.
You're so right, though. This weather that we've had this weekend has been awesome.
Especially with that low humidity. It's felt great out there.
All right, Kyle, thank you. Andrew Luck's been almost 7 years with the Indianapolis Colts, and now that he's retiring, we're looking at the legacy he's built. That's next when the news continues. To make a difference. Andrew Luck's surprise retirement means we have to start looking ahead to a future without him. But tonight, our Day First takes stock of the impact on the team that he's had and on the community.
It was 2012. In the midst of the city celebrating a Super Bowl, and the house that Peyton built was an opportunity to sit down with then Stanford quarterback Andrew Luck. He refused to get too in-depth about possibly replacing the Hall of Famer, but it was clear the baton was passed. The hope was that it would be for many, many years to come. After the Colts drafted him #1 in New York, Andrew was all in. Helped the team win 11 games his rookie season, the most of any quarterback drafted #1 overall. He also threw for more yards than any rookie in NFL history. His next 2 seasons brought back familiar feelings from the Manning era. After another 11-win season, Luck and the Colts were back in Foxborough, dealing with the Patriots in the divisional playoffs. In 2014, it was another 11-win season while leading the league in touchdown passes before a trip to the AFC title game. Unlike Peyton, Andrew's Colts were never able to solve the riddle that is New England football. Off the field, Andrew was just as impactful. The central figure of Riley Children's Health's Change the Play program. Andrew preached the importance of activity of young people, even threw one of his legendary passes to perhaps the game's next generation. But his own health became the center of attention. Over the years, he suffered rib and kidney injuries, a torn labrum in his throwing shoulder, and most recently, a strained left calf, leading to other ailments. He was able to make a triumphant return just last year and help guide the Colts to another divisional round playoff game. He was named the comeback player of the year that season. It turned out to be his last. Luck leaves as he arrived on his own terms. His only goal now, get 100% healthy for his future and for his family. Day First, RTV6.
My wife, Nicole.
Hey, who's your lottery? Imagine that.
Does your kid dream of making it big in the music industry? At J. Everett Alike Career Center, our Aaron list shows you how students are getting the experience needed to go from the classroom to a career in entertainment.
From DJing like Steve Aoki to shredding the guitar like Jimi Hendrix, students are learning all about the music industry here in the Music and Production program.
Felix, the producer, making all new types of music.
Students get inspired by their favorite rappers and producers.
Every time I listen, like, oh God, I wish I knew him.
This creativity is happening in the Music and Production program at J. Everett Light Career Center.
The thing that you could improve is consistent levels throughout. Okay.
Instructors let students use Pro Tool software to make mixes, which is a music industry standard.
Students who take our class are ahead of the game when they go to the next level, whether they go to a 6-month recording school or to a 4-year college.
Which draws Derek Franklin to the program.
Basically, I think that's a very unique experience. Not everybody's able to experience this.
He mixes his beats to air on their in-house radio station, getting him interested in working in the music industry.
Possibly become a producer and help people that are practically underground rappers, like try to help them create beats.
Their major project is to have a mock record company and create an album. Teachers point out there's stiff competition in this industry.
We emphasize that it takes passion, grit, very hard work, and determination, along with networking. Those things are just key.
And through their talent and tenacity, they're hoping to make it big with the help from this opportunity.
Got the style that combines all that. Yeah.
Working for you, Aaron Lish, RTV6.
All right, Aaron, thank you. Well, you can find all our classroom to career coverage plus opportunities for all ages right now on our app and our website, hiringhoosiers.com. And all right, Kyle, we've been kind of spoiled this weekend in the weather department.
Yeah, we got our dry time yesterday and today. Tomorrow, yeah, it's going to be fairly soggy there. Those rain chances don't get a whole lot higher as we go through the morning and early afternoon hours, pretty much close to 100%. That's going to keep our temperatures in the middle 70s for that afternoon high. A few more showers and storms on Tuesday. The rest of the week, though, looking really nice there as we dry things out with highs around 80.
Kyle, thank you, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 11.